Ashi though, and he does have his knee line here.
Cross
So
Ashi's tight. Roman's gonna have to do a lot of work to either free that elbow or peel the knee line. He looks to be doing a little bit of both, pulling the elbow up while he's trying to clear the feet. He's able to open the legs. George repummels.
George repummeling. Look,
and he gets the tap.
Straight ankle.
James Ellis Holmes. James Ellis.
Okay, so doing this ankle lock request from a reaping leg position that my boy requested months ago, and I'm a scuzzy scumbag and I haven't responded to you, but this is the video. Better late than never is what they say. It's usually from what people nowadays call a false reap or just a reaping position. And first we'll kind of talk about, I'll show a couple different competition clips of me hitting this. And when you should go for the false reap traditional position, and we should just go for a normal inversion where you're shooting the saddle, right? If your partner already elects to put a bend in the leg, right? So if the leg is already bent, so if Couch is here in this posture, maybe where he's in a kind of split squat position, go ahead, like that. This is a really good time to go for a false reap, okay? Because if Couch's leg is really straight, which when he decides to do this, it's really hard to bend his leg. I wouldn't want to go elbow deep, because remember, to get a false reap, you have to throw the foot over and be elbow deep. The straighter his leg is, go ahead and straighten it out, lock it out. See how much distance I have to cover? All right. If his leg is bent forward a little bit, all right, if he's more in a split position, see how I can be elbow deep and my leg be coming across, and I can be figure forward. So I'm able to do the traditional false reap movement, okay? So we'll go over that one first, and then we'll talk about what to do maybe when they're straight in the leg. So let's say that you pull guard, all right, you're in the guard position, you're in reverse de la Hiva, your frame here is underneath your leg, you have control of the foot, this shoelaces is hugging the outside of his thigh, this foot is already on his hip, and he's driving the knee forward. Okay, traditionally guys want to drive the knee forward because it applies force on you. It makes you carry their weight. When you get to this position, all right, this hand that traditionally is hand fighting Couch, as you realize that he's driving the knee forward, go ahead, drive the knee, I'm shooting elbow deep as my leg is coming across. Okay, what this does is it makes an extreme bend in his leg so that his knee is right at my chest, okay? And it also lifts his foot up off the mat. So we're here, he's driving his knee forward, I'm elbow deep, foot is shooting across. Now I'm figure fouring, hugging the top of the thigh, and I'm using both my feet now that are free and clear to get underneath this leg. That's the goal, right? So I'm trying to snake however I can to get both my feet underneath Couch's leg, all right? The next step here is I have to get my leg, my bottom leg, clear of Couch's leg. Right now, Couch's leg is behind mine, all right? If you can see that, see how Couch's leg is here? My next objective is to get my leg clear of that, and either triangle, or I can choose to cross my feet however I want and just apply outward pressure on the hip. So once we clear that leg, all right, what people are going to traditionally expect is a heel hook. This is what traditionally is going to happen is I'm in the saddle, they're going to expect a lot of downward pressure and expect me to chase the heel. Something that you can take advantage of, especially nowadays, is we come back, is to, as soon as you're here, he's choosing to drive knee forward, I'm elbow deep, figure four, get both my legs inside of his other legs. As soon as you clear Couch's leg here, use the foot, plant the foot on the mat and invert onto your shoulders, similar to a hook sweep motion, And the hand that's figure fouring the leg is going to switch to an ankle lock grip on the leg that you have controlled, okay? Here. So I'm completely inverted, right? So I'm going to have Sophia kind of just walk around the position so she can see how I'm completely inverted and I have Couch's leg in an ankle lock position, okay? Now, no matter what he decides to do, I'm going to choose to apply ankle lock force. So if Couch decides to backstep with his left leg and end up here, I am applying immediate ankle lock pressure. So I'm grabbing the small of my wrist here, I'm pulling it tight, I'm locking my elbows, and I'm applying ankle lock pressure. It's not a straight Achilles lock. I'm more on locking on the side, okay? So I'm applying side ankle lock pressure to tap, right? All from the false sweep. Where traditionally this works because he's expecting heel hook and he's gonna be doing heel hook defenses, which is gonna be, you know, ballerina towing, pointing the feet, trying to heel slip. If he does that, if he tries to straighten his foot on ballerina toe, he ankle locks himself even more, okay? Let's go back. The other one that he could go, other way he could rotate, same position, we're here. He drives the knee forward, figure four. I shoot my feet through. Now I know I can clear the foot, okay? Start to wrap up this ankle lock pressure. If Couch, okay, doesn't backstep with his left leg, if he continues to roll, come over here, Sophia. If he doesn't backstep this way, okay, if he continues to roll this way, I keep my legs locked and I post on my head and I try to finish the ankle lock here, belly down, both knees on the mat, okay? So my hips are hipping into the back of his knee and then I do the same grip, small my wrist, pull through, and it's side ankle lock pressure to get the tap. Okay, so let's rewind, just go back, Couch a little bit, rewind, back to here. So we're in the saddle. I have my ankle lock. Couch has two options. He can either go this way or that way. Either way, I'm ankle lock pressuring. If it decides to go this way, notice how my knee is in the air. This knee is going to hit the mat and be like a stopper. So as he tries to, when he goes to rotate, I stop. And it stops the rotation. You can see how I'm completely belly down, posted on my head. My knee is actually pushing into the back of his leg. I pull the grip tight, and now I get the finish, right? It's not a traditional straight ankle lock pressure. It's breaking the foot sideways, all right? So that's option one. Option two, what happens is, let's say you get the guys and they straighten the leg. This becomes a lot harder to do a traditional false sweep here. If they, especially nowadays where people know what you're going for the false sweep, they straighten the leg, they're already pummeling. This is hard to reach for. This is your cue to go for a more traditional reverse de la Riva inversion and just shooting the saddle, okay? And we'll go over that, it's pretty simple. If his leg is straight, I don't really want to reach up there, okay? And I've had this happen, he's had this happen where guys are so strong now where I can be false reaped and they literally pick us up off the ground like this. And I'm fully false reaped, right? But I can't fucking go anywhere now. And he's just gonna pet on my shiny, immaculate bald head, and which is perfectly sculpted, I've been told, actually. I was actually just told at the tournament that I should never get tattoos on my head because of how beautiful it was, which was really weird, but flattering at the same time. I don't know. So look, here, no good, right? So if you're getting pressure, knee forward pressure, knees bent, go for the false sweep, traditional. Figure four, boom, heel hook, ankle lock, you're in. Now, if they're locking the legs out and you're still able to do this connection, right? What you're gonna do is more of a traditional way to get to the saddle, which is gonna be switching from reverse de la Riva here, you're gonna underhook his foot. Okay, so foot on the hip, my foot is shoelaces on his hamstring. This is cupping the back of Couch's knee. I'm gonna elbow deep underhook. Notice how that moves my shoulder towards the mat, and I start to rotate. Okay, so that's all we're doing, the first motion. Okay, elbow deep, I start to rotate. Once I rotate here, my hand switches from cupping here to cup the same back of the knee on the other side. My legs are gonna switch. So this leg comes behind, and now this leg shoots in front, and we're back in the saddle, okay? The only thing that's different now, okay, if you come back to the front, is the grips, okay? So you see how we end up in this grip versus the ankle lock grip, all right? From here, they're still expecting a traditional heel hook attack. So I liked usually to go from this underhook grip, I pummel back, and I get my ankle lock grip back on the foot. And I'm chasing the ankle lock. All right. You'll see in one of the matches, he was from Europe somewhere. Some
Russian guy.
I think
he was in the mafia.
I think he was Russian. I don't want to say Russian because maybe if he wasn't, but he was from Europe. He was super tough, black belt. But he straightened his leg out from here, like completely straight. Put his foot up. So what I did was, I need to get the bend in his knee, straighten your leg out. He did this, and I could not bend his knee, so I couldn't get the break. So I shoot my legs forward, and now I use my hips to bend the leg. Okay? So if the legs are straight, use your hips to shoot to the bend of the knee to bend his leg. And now look at where my knee is. My knee is in free space floating. It needs to be on the mat so it can be belly down. And then it's the same ankle lock. I pull through, hips drive down, and then I apply ankle lock pressure. Boom. And he taps. So we'll rewind here a little bit one more time. Go back. Just to the traditional reposition. Okay, say you're here. Say, this is really common. Guys get here, right? You're able to get inside reap, but everyone's able to stand up on you. To get a heel hook or to get an ankle lock, you need to bend in the knee. So a way to do that is to use your hips and drive them into the back of the knee. This will usually end up in a belly down position. So the way I'll do that is I'll rotate in and then I'll hip in. Okay, see how it drives his knee to the mat? Now I'm open to attack the ankle lock or the heel hook. I elect to choose the ankle lock first, then go for the heel hook, but it's up to you. So here, ankle lock. So one more time, we'll do just from the straight knee variation. Okay, Couch has an extremely strong leg, which he does. This motherfucker, when he straightens his leg out, it is so hard to bend his leg. It's literally impossible to bend his leg. It's not fair. Anyways, so I'm trying to get to the false reap. Couch is, I mean, there's not really any muscle here, so I'm not sure what's keeping the leg from being straight. Whatever it is, it's keeping the leg straight. So, so I have to do a traditional inversion. If I can't go elbow deep because his leg is straight, I pummel elbow deep. I grab my own shin. If I want to, you don't have to. I just have to go elbow deep, and I use the pull of the elbow to invert myself. Okay? Once I'm here, the hand has to control the knee. I switch my leg, so look at my right leg pummels in, right? Hips start coming in. The top leg pummels in, and we're back in our reap position. All right, the guys that choose to do this defense will keep their leg straight because they know if the leg is straight, they can't be leg locked, so they'll rot it out. I'll still switch and pummel for my ankle lock grip. If they fall down, I'm doing the same motion. I'm hipping in, putting the bend in the leg, chasing the ankle lock, okay? If they stay standing, come back. Okay, so let's say, come back, face me. So let's say that we did, okay, a normal here, okay? He straightens his leg out, okay? So I want you to watch my legs back here. go back here my legs. So they switch from Xing here to coming back on this hip. So this motion, I can straighten my leg out. And I have pretty short legs, but I still have success sometimes in straightening guys out and getting into trip. Or I can be both legs here and straightening them out, right? After you do the initial straighten, your hips have to drive, this has to drive to the back of Couch's knee. So I straighten back of the knee to drive the knee to the mat, and then I'm belly down ankle locking for the finish. Okay, so just keep in mind that, where's the camera? There you are. Keep in mind that it's specific. If, depending on the skill of the opponent, if they're driving in with the knee and it's bent, it's easier to false reap. If they know, damn, he just shattered himself. So that's how strong the ankle lock is, guys. Sometimes you get done drilling the ankle lock, their partner will duke you themselves. It's normal. Please have toilet paper available.
Wasn't me.
Anyways, look, so if the knee's bent, false reap is there. If they're keeping it straight, or if they're doing a pummel pressure, make sure you straighten them out and driving in. Another common defense, actually, before I forget, and I am going to use Couch after he just duked himself, because I'm committed to the YouTube. This is how committed I am to the YouTube family. Couch is covered in dookie right now, and I'm still doing technique on him. It smells terrible. So look,
It doesn't smell that bad.
if I'm false reaped, right, bend your leg, fool. Bend your leg. If I'm false reaped, and one of the common defenses, Couch knows he has to pummel his left leg to the inside of this leg, and you get to this position. This can be bad for you. So you have to make sure you recognize that this is bad. Okay, if your feet, both your feet are off the body, it's no good. You need to get them back on, okay? So what you can do is, instead of going from here, you can grab your own foot and place it underneath Couch, okay? Which you'll see in one of the matches, I did that. You'll come here, underneath, and you have to get this foot back pummeled. And you can do that by either using your foot to push or even using your hand to push, okay? Whatever it takes to get your feet back underneath this leg. So that way, look, you can finish clearing the leg, right? And again, extending the leg, keeping the bend in the knee. If the knee's bent, just keep it there. They don't always have to roll. Sometimes it takes a little balancing. Like if the knee's bent here, and I know that there's no hip post over here because his leg is right here, I can just flare both my knees to my left and get Couch on the ground, lock up my ankle lock grip, and go for it from here. All right, so just options, guys. When you guys are in these reaping positions, you don't necessarily always have to chase the heel hook. You can go for the ankle lock. It is effective. Heath has been preaching to me and him for years. Go for the ankle lock first, and then the heel hook. We don't listen, of course. Recently we started listening, and we found out that Heath was correct in that the ankle lock is effective and it works. So if you get to reaping positions, mess around with messing with the ankle lock versus going straight for the heel hook. Okay, especially if they're spinning, I'm telling you the ankle lock's going to be there a lot of the time. So let me know if this answered your question, and if it didn't, get back to me and I'll answer your questions in another video. Hopefully this time it won't take 2 or 3 months. So Couch now is going to go to the bathroom and take a shower. I'm going to have to take a shower too. The whole thing was just shit. Oof. Wow. All right. Thanks, guys. I got to go.